Good morning, everyone. It is another glorious day. It is Thursday, the 28th of September, 2023. It's 8:30 a.m. You ready? It's time for our mindful moment. I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual leader here at Unity of Tucson, a loving and inclusive spiritual center right here in the old Pueblo, which is what we call Tucson. If you are not from Tucson, you don't know that's our nickname, the old Pueblo, for our location. But the mindful moment, here we are. The mindful moment. What is the mindful moment? The mindful moment is an opportunity that we take every single weekday, first thing in the morning, to engage in some spiritual practice. That spiritual practice includes presenting a spiritual idea that perhaps you can then take and allow yourself to run with throughout the day in consideration. How does this play out in my day? We also then engage in a formal practice of affirmative prayer. Why do I say affirmative prayer? Because when we teach prayer in the New Thought movement, it is not a supplication or a beseeching or a begging to anything outside the self. It is affirming the spiritual truth and trusting that in the affirmation of spiritual truth, we are engaging ourselves in the full expression of being, this wholeness, this one, this God source energy, which is what I hold firm in my heart is the truth of being, that we are this power and presence. So I would love for this power and presence in the expression of each and every one of you to reach out and say hello, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Post a comment. Let me know that you are here, and let's see who is here so far. Jerry Stratemeyer, good morning all, and good morning to you, Jerry. Grateful to have you here. Sherry, happiest of days to all. Yes, grateful to see you. Roberta, ready. Yes, we are ready. Good morning. William, good morning to all the lovely peeps out there. I am imagining you maybe with Anita. Grateful to see you both if you are there. And Marianne, grateful. Good morning to you. Greg, how lovely to see you, Reverend Greg Dorst. Delighted to have you here joining us this morning. Vera, grateful to have you here. Good greetings to you. Marvis, morning to you as well. I do want to offer my reminder, as I do every single day, and I invite you to truly take this to heart because I mean this from a heartfelt space. You are love. You are light. You are life. You are magnificent. Do you realize how magnificent you are? And it's not because of anything you do. It's not because you have to try to be magnificent. It's not because of anything like that. You're magnificent just because you exist. Keep shining your light, sharing that magnificence with the world. So today, what's been on my mind is the language of ownership. We talked about it in Tuesday night's prayer class. We talked about it a little bit on mental muscle this morning, but the language of ownership can be a great indicator for what is happening and how we have adopted a frame of mind that is playing out in our lives. So what do I mean by the language of ownership? Well, very simply, what are we owning? What are we owning in our experience? What are we owning in circumstance? What are we owning and claiming to own through the language we use? So for instance, if I am having an experience of ill health, am I referring to the experience of ill health as my sickness? And how might that then play out? And what do we do to not claim ownership of that? I can say, well, right now I'm having the experience of sickness, but it is not mine to own. I don't need to hold on to this experience for the magnificence that is me to shine forth and to express in healthful ways. So this came up on Tuesday night in the prayer class that I'm teaching, because we talked a bit about the power of denial, and denial is a thing that confuses a lot of people, because when we talk about denial in a spiritual context, we're not talking about psychological denial. So here's what denial doesn't mean. If I'm having the experience of sickness, it is not beneficial for me to say, I am not sick. If I'm having the experience of sickness, I'm having the experience of sickness. What the denial is about is not allowing the circumstance to dictate the frame of mind. Because if I allow the circumstance to dictate the frame of mind, then I continue to allow that frame of mind to uphold the circumstance, which is why it's not my sickness. I'm having the experience of sickness, and that experience of sickness has no bearing on my infinite expression of pure perfection. And so I welcome the experience of health, a healthful body, a healthful expression, a healthful circumstantial life. I welcome the experience of health, and I know that that health is rooted in mind and in heart, first and foremost. And so as I accept that as the truth of being, well, then there is no room for the experience of sickness. But it is important, I think, and this is one of the things that we can habitualize in our lives, is looking at the language of ownership. How are we owning our experiences? And is that working for us or not working for us? And then we do the mental work. We do the work to reframe all of that. That's what I wanted to talk about today, and I trust that there's benefit in that reflection for you. And yeah, let's concretize that. Let's solidify that with some prayer, shall we? I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are as we engage in this formal process of affirmative prayer. I choose to close my eyes, and I invite you to do so if it's safe and comfortable for you. I choose to close my eyes so that it allows me to turn the attention, my active attention, to the inner life. And as I focus on the inner life, I know that the inner life is the magnificent creative source energy of all that is active. That's what my inner life is. It is my use of an infinite source, an infinite creative life, an infinite life. And so I acknowledge from this point of view that there is only this source. There is only God's source energy. There is only this power. There is only the one. There is God and nothing else. God, greatness on demand. God, omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. God, the one. God, wholeness. There is nothing else that exists. And so I trust in the outflow of this wholeness as the expression of my life and the expression in the lives of each and every one of us. For there is no aspect of any of us that is not whole perfection. There's not an aspect of any one of us that is not wholly divine. Every cell in our body is God source energy embodied and expressed. And so all is in perfect alignment because that is the nature of the divine. And I accept this perfection in alignment and expression in all ways, always. And so I know that there is an awareness that is flowing forth, an awareness that is the full expression of me, an awareness in the manner that I live in an infinite state of choice around how I use this God source energy and how I direct it for the quality of my life to be enhanced at all times. And so I am aware of the language of ownership. I deepen into an awareness of the language of ownership, and I release anything that is unlike the God source energy. I allow it to dissipate from my state of mind. And I welcome only the constructive. I welcome only the good. I welcome only the magnificence. For that is my natural state of being. It is the natural state of being for all wholeness, harmony, All is well. All is well. I let myself resonate in the wellness. I let myself vibrate in the wellness. I trust this to be so, and it is with a grateful heart and an appreciation overflowing from within that I welcome the perfect outflow that follows this expression of inflow. For my word spoken impresses and is an impression of law, and life flows forth in expression, rooted in that impression. And so I simply step out of the way, trust in the flow, and let it be so. And I affirm it as so by saying, and so it is. I don't know if you know, prayer is one of my favorite practices. I love to pray. I love it. Yes, I want to see what William is saying here. William has posted this. He says, one can shift the view from the symptoms of sickness to the symptoms of healing. No denial, but an affirmation of my claim to divine healing. Yeah, absolutely. That is true. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to challenge you on that, William. William, I know you. Maybe we let go of the shift of the view from the symptoms, because symptoms are an expression, and we shift the view from the symptoms of sickness to the cause of healing. I want you to play with that for a little while, see how that works out. And I'm sure you'll have a lot to say to me later today when I see you, now that I've given you that. Um, Delighted to share this time with you. Look forward to seeing you again. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, for our final mindful moment of this week. A lot of stuff that's going on. Again, I don't have a graphic for it or anything, but on Saturday, Unity of Tucson is going to be represented here in Tucson at Tucson Pride, the Tucson Pride Festival in Reed Park. So if you're in Tucson, go celebrate Pride, celebrate this magnificent community, the LGBTQIA community, and the creative nature that they share with the whole world. We're going to be represented there, letting them know that we are a loving and inclusive spiritual center. We love to welcome all those who are open to this goodness that we share. And yeah, so we're going to be represented at Pride. There's also going to be on Sunday evening a special dance Zen, which is our monthly freeform dance experience. This one's going to be Pride oriented. So October 1st, a Sunday night at 6 p.m. right here at Unity of Tucson in Harmony Hall. Sherry Hoffman is going to be leading Dance Zen, the Pride edition. And then there actually is going to be a regular Dance Zen the following Saturday. Dance Zen usually happens on the first Saturday of every month. That doesn't change. We're just adding one to this Sunday. So yeah, join us for that. Join us Sunday morning for celebration. And also, we do have the gala coming up. Would love to see you at our annual gala. Get your ticket at the Desert Light Book and Gift Store, or scan the code there and it'll take you to our website where you can get a ticket. I know I talk about this stuff every time, and it's because I'm so excited for these things. And I hope that you catch that sense of excitement with me and you join me for all the fun stuff that we are engaged in here at Unity of Tucson. Yeah. So keep an eye out. If you want to find out more about what's going on, you can always go to unitytucson.com, and we've got a calendar there. We've got all kinds of events, classes. We're a very full and active spiritual center, offering a lot. Would love to see you participate in all of it. All right, that's it. Peace and blessings to you. I will see you all tomorrow. I love you. I really do. Be well. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.